and I'm co-president of HackDavis this year. This is our 5th year of running this event, and we are super excited to provide you all with a memorable, enjoyable, and action-packed experience in the next 24 hours. 5 years ago, we started as a small team, and you can just see this in the background. This is our last year's video. Organizing a 200-person event. Our team is now double the size and organizing a 600-person event today. And guess what? The location of HackDavis 2015 is now the location of our workshops for HackDavis 2020. So in just 5 years, we've grown tremendously. So now that the bragging is over, I'd like to go over several logistics with you guys. Please make sure to pay attention, as almost all of these will pertain to you in some way or another. First, if you haven't already, please join the HackDavis 2020 Slack. This is where we will post all of the announcements, including workshops and of course food, so pay attention to it during the event. If you're having any trouble accessing Slack or just logistical problems in general, please just see any directors wearing the same shirt as me. We're here to help you, so don't be afraid to approach us for any issues. Second, this year our technical team built an app called HackDavis 2020, available on both iOS and Android. So it has tons of great information and links, and is where we will send all notifications to remind everyone about the different activities going on throughout the event. Be sure to have it on your phone with push notifications enabled, and you might need to update it to receive these notifications. So hope you're still with me. 2 down, 2 to go. Third, our DevPost for HackDavis 2020 is now live, and you will be able to see all of the different prize categories offered this year. We have over $20,000 in prizes, and some don't require a lot to be eligible, so be sure to look at them before starting your project to see which ones you would want to go after. We have a few of our own categories. Our biggest are most social good impact, where we will be looking for breadth and depth of your project in terms of social good, as well as the technical complexity. And most technically challenging, where we focus on how technically advanced the project is. The prizes are Oculus Go's and AirPods respectively, so make sure to submit for these categories. One other thing I'd like to mention, since this sponsor is unable to join us today, 1517 Fund, a venture capital firm, is providing a $1,000 grant and $5,000 of AWS credits to the 3 teams with the most potential for their ideas to become startups. We will be linking a form for teams interested in this category to fill out on our DevPost, and the winners will be notified after the event. Okay, that was a long one. For the final, and this one I believe would be the most important for everyone to pay attention to. If at any point you're stuck, or want to learn something new, but don't know how to go about it, or want to figure out the best way to approach some problem, please use our Help Queue system to contact a mentor who can best support you. So the link for Help Queue is help.hackdavis.io, and it's available on both your badge as well as in the mobile app. So make sure to use it effectively for the best learning experience possible. Finally, if you took absolutely nothing from this, which is fine, I'd like you to remember this one thing, DASH. This stands for DevPost, App, Slack, and Help Queue. That's all for now. I hope you guys have a great time here, and I'd like to welcome our first sponsor to the podium, OSI Soft.
Hi, thank you. I'm John Trank from OSI Soft. We've been part of HackDavis for the last 4 years. This year we're proud to come back as a title sponsor and co-host with the HackDavis team, so thank you. Our hackathon challenge today is around sustainability. So we have a data set that's available from the UC Davis facilities and utilities. That's the real-time data and the historical data of all the energy of the buildings on campus. So the energy, the water, the steam, all the utilities on the buildings is available for the last 3 years at really fine granular data. We have an API that will be used for that access, and our prizes are first through third place with Amazon gift cards. Our API will be at the workshop at 2:30. in Ballroom A, where you'll come and learn about our API, but also be able to brainstorm about ideas about what you might tackle. The data itself you want to preview before 2:30 is actually based or fed into the same application that's up here on the site, seed.ucdavis.edu, and give you a feeling for what kind of data we'll have available through that API to drive that. Looking forward, you have some ideas here on the screen, whether it's machine learning that you're interested in, or statistics, or slicing and dicing data, or joining this data with other data to do benchmarking. You'll have a chance to do that using our data set in the cloud. Lastly, look for us on Slack. We've already made some announcements there and had our base information published. So we look forward to working with you again this year. And if you need help, we're the first table over here on the left.
Okay, thank you so much, John, for that introduction to OSI Soft. Our next sponsor is Centene, so they'll be coming up now.
Thank you. So my name is Brian T. Crook. I'm a campus brand specialist with Centene. A little bit about us. We are an IT company that does healthcare. So let me first explain that we are a healthcare company. You might be wondering what the healthcare company is doing here at HackDavis. IT is our biggest need. We're looking for all different kinds of positions in our company. But we do serve some very large amount of people in the healthcare field, and there's a huge need for IT services. A little bit about us. Our purpose is to transform the healthcare community one person at a time, better health outcomes and lower costs. Overall, we believe that helping people with their health is going to make them better citizens to make a better community. Within our healthcare program, we are a managed healthcare organization, so we specialize in Medicare, Medicaid, government-sponsored healthcare, and things like that. For those of you that are from California, you may have heard of HealthNet. That is actually an organization that is owned and operated by us. So, a little bit about us today. We are currently based in St. Louis, Missouri, but that's where our headquarters are. But we do have offices pretty much throughout the entire country. We have health plans in 30 different states with roughly 53,000 employees. We're currently number 51 on the Fortune 500 list. By the time the rankings come out for the next group, we will be in the top 30. We do have two international markets in the UK and Spain, and we service roughly 15 million members throughout the United States. So you can see kind of our map is actually on the wrong way. You can see our kind of meteoric rise from when we first started in 2010 to where we are now at Fortune 51. These are some of the IT career paths that we are currently hiring for. Software application developers, cybersecurity, data and business analytics, infrastructure, database administration. Those are all positions that we are looking to hire college graduates and those who have the right amount of experience with that. If you have any questions about open full-time opportunities or internships, please come see me. We'll be able to go over there. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. We do a sponsored pack as well. Best Health Pack. Ideally, if you make it community-focused, you have an extra choice for that since we are a healthcare company. This is the prize we're giving away, so we do group speakers for each member, so you guys don't have to split one. We are having a tech talk at 5:30. It's titled Cybersecurity and Your Role as Programmers. So we'd love to have you all there to attend. My colleague Charles will be giving that presentation. I'm looking forward to it. What's next? If you are interested in working with us, please feel free to reach out to us, johnscenter.com, or talk to me. This time, here's my contact information. You have cards your way. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you for Centene. Next we'll have a GCP to talk about their platform and what their price categories are.
I'm Travis Hackey, I'm a software engineer at Google. I've been at Google for over 8 years. Actually, a year again. marketing person. So it's a place around computers, right? No, actually, no. It's a place where you can build your application to store data, analyze data, you can serving, heavy compute and so on. So the popular popular areas of GCP for this kind of venue are App Engine, Firestore, other database technologies, and then also the machine learning APIs. Machine learning APIs allow you to use machine learning without any prior background in it at all. So you just give it data, and we give you data back. Then there's 5 APIs that are relevant to video intelligence, vision, natural language processing, and translation. And this one combined, I'll tell you. All right, is from the vision API, it can tell you what landmarks are for you in the image. In this case, it's showing a diamond. You can just recognize that just in pixels in the photo. We can also give you labels. For example, sea, body, water. It tells you what's in the You can do sentiment analysis on cases. It won't give you like tag photos, but it will tell you what kind of emotions these people have. Natural language has a few features in there. It can scan to look for places where your company might be mentioned and flag it for human review. Sentiment analysis, it can do an analysis of like what kind of language being used, whether it's positive or negative, as well as give you a confidence score. So we have a API challenge, best use of Google Cloud. You just have to be using Google Cloud in some way. And that includes Apps API and also Firestore or Firebase. And we also have $50 credits that were sent out to everybody, so you can use it for free. So if you were registered for this, if you didn't get it, come talk to us, so we can help you out. And did I say API prizes? Yeah. We've got API prizes. All right. We'll have a tech talk at 4:30 in Laura May. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you, Travis. Next up, we'll have Student Startup Center talking about their prize categories.
So for the past 50 years, the Silicon Valley has been defined by this mantra of move fast, break things, and build $1 billion companies seemingly overnight. And this has given us phenomenal companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, Uber, just the world's best companies. But our philosophy at Student Startup Center is that that's about to change. Move fast and break things isn't exactly going anywhere, but we're looking to solve bigger and bolder problems these days. We want to heal 1 billion people. We want to feed 1 billion more people. Provide power for, educate 1 billion more people. And this means building companies that solve big problems. I'm excited to represent the Student Startup Center because of what you represent here at UC Davis. It just so happens that you are a stone's throw from this Silicon Valley, the world's preeminent source of technology, talent, and capital. You're half a stone's throw away from the capital of the state of California, which just happens to be the preeminent regulator and governor of these same technologies and companies. And more important than both of those, you also happen to be located on the world's preeminent campus for studying and researching these very big problems like food, healthcare, energy. You couldn't be in a better place. This is why I am excited as the director of the Student Startup Center to speak to you today. I hope and pray that the opportunities that are presented for you are ones that you will seize. You will take advantage of these chances and build something big. The Student Startup Center is located in Baker Hall here on campus. We host classes, we host events almost every day. We have a makerspace with 3D printers, a virtual reality lab, and a whole bunch of tools for you if you're interested in this. So, if at any point you think that someday you might launch a startup, work for a startup, invest in a startup, or even just be the works to convince your parents that this is a viable career path, then you're not crazy. Please come down to the School Start Center and spend some time with us. Our directors will be here today. They're manning the 3D printers up in the work space up high. Go talk to them, ask them questions. Come on down and see what we have to do. We have some great prizes for the best hardware hacks. But we want you engaged. Go build and solve the world's hardest problems. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Next up, we have Global Affairs to discuss their best interdisciplinary hack prize.
So, real quick, how many of you go to a school other than UC Davis? Stand up. Stand up. All right. All you UC Davis people, give them a big round of applause. So you're here, you're hacking for social good, right? Right? All right, that means there's social bad in the world. There is social bad. Maybe what we need is social challenges. Here they are. The UN Sustainable Development Goals represent global challenges. I don't care where you live. If you're hacking today, you're hacking in relation to one of these. Some of you are dealing with number 13, climate change. Some of you are dealing with number 3, good health and well-being. Some of you are dealing with water. I've talked to a few of you. Here's the challenge. A hack isn't going to solve these. There's no app to solve world hunger. It's a piece of the puzzle. It's a piece of the solution. You're here to contribute. The reality is solving any of these requires interdisciplinary approaches. We need people coming together from a variety of backgrounds to put their best thinking, your best thinking, into solving them. That's why, and this is the first time we've tried this, we have a prize. Best interdisciplinary hack. What's that mean? Well, it means get someone on your team besides a computer scientist or a computer engineer. Get their input, demonstrate that you're using their input, economics, communication, whatever, to solve your problem. If you see evidence of that, you're in the problem. We really want to see you thinking outside the bounds. I don't know if that's good or bad. You're talking a lot right now. I think that means you're trying to decide if you have an interdisciplinary team. That's cool. You need to do that. If you want to learn more about the UN Sustainable Development Goals, go ahead and use that QR code to download an app that explains more what they're about. Or just come over to my table over here. My generation, it's getting a little bit late for us to deal with the challenges. You're just starting. My goal, my hope, is when you leave this school or whatever school you're part of, you go out saying, I need to work with other people from other disciplines to solve these challenges. That's what we're here for. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a great time.
I think everyone's going to remember interdisciplinary hack at this point. Next up, we have our first nonprofit, Aging 2.0.
For Aging 2.0, also a board member for the Rose Bear Foundation, which you'll also hear about today. So we're here in conjunction to present to you what's coming. How many of you have seen this across your Instagram or something like it? The memes, right? They're hilarious. I will say it is ageist, so I want to point that out, but you may not care. But I'm going to give you a reason to care today. All right? Actually, I'm going to skip over here to the demographics. The world population is rapidly shifting from a pyramid to a column to an inverted pyramid. The older population is growing proportionately faster than the younger ages, younger populations. We have, by 2050, there'll be about 27% in the US, they'll be over the age of 65. Japan is already there. We have more people in adult diapers than baby diapers. Our financial systems, healthcare systems, pretty much any system that supports our society is not ready for this. So we need you, we need innovators regardless of age. to come up with ideas of how are we going to deal with these challenges. And Aging 2.0 is an organization that actually has scanned the global landscape to understand what these issues are. They've grouped it into 8 different areas. I'm not going to get into all of them. You can stop by our table afterwards. I have a diagram that outlines them. But one of the areas I want to challenge you today is in the area of engagement. And I just want to mention that we are an international organization that's interdisciplinary and intergenerational, and definitely across the globe. So one specific area that we want to challenge you to help try to find a solution today is in the area of elder social isolation and loneliness. There is a correlation to decreased health. Statistics and studies have shown in terms of high blood pressure, dementia, a weakened immune system, obesity, anxiety, depression, cognitive decline, and early death even. All really bummers, aren't they? Well, unfortunately, it all increases with loneliness. It has significant impact on health. And this is going to affect your grandparents. It'll affect your parents if we don't address this. And I do want to mention that there's another category other than the older population that we need to help, and that is the caregivers. Who are they statistically? They're women, probably close to my age, close to your mom's age. So we need to definitely take that into consideration. And the statistics help your case, right? If you're lonely, coronary bypass patients, they have 5 times higher than mortality rate, 30 days post-surgery, right? 64% increased chance of developing clinical dementia, 5% more severe symptoms in a common cold, and about $130 a month more in Medicare spending. And I will add in there, $130 may not seem like a lot to you, but it could be the difference between making an older person stay in their home and homeless. So this is a significant cross-cutting, pervasive issue in our society. So lacking social connections is the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's a real statistic, folks. So I encourage you to put your thinking caps on, to care, and to apply your innovation, your innovative ideas. And you might be sitting there thinking, well, I'm a programmer, how does this have anything to do with older people? They don't like computers. They don't. But I'll challenge you again by one of the famous MIT professors. If you ever get to see him speak, Dr. Joseph Coughlin, he says it's all about compelling reason. Think about it. Anything that makes you shift from using one product to another, why would you? You have to have a compelling reason. So regardless of age, I have an 89-year-old mom, last year, has now officially become addicted to her tablet and Netflix. This is the same woman who retired because she wanted nothing to do with computers. So it's all about building a compelling reason to use whatever solution you come up with. So good luck, hackers.
Before we move on to the next nonprofit, I just want to mention that nonprofits are actually a huge part of our hackathon and really create the social good aspect for us. So I really want to thank them all for coming out today and donating their time. Also, we will have a nonprofit meet and greet at 1:30, or as soon as the opening ceremony ends in Ballroom A. So I really recommend going there to talk to the nonprofits before you begin hacking. Okay, our next nonprofit is the Children's Scoliosis Foundation.
Hi, my name is Ann Knox. I'm the president of the Children's Scoliosis Foundation. I'm actually also a UC Davis graduate. I graduated in 1991 with a degree in biology. Just serving me well now. Our primary focus is providing support to families that travel long distance for care. Most treatment centers aren't local, and so they will have to travel many miles, even out of the country, to provide that care. And so we provide travel grants and care packs for the children. In case you don't know, scoliosis is a sideways curvature of the spine over 10 degrees. It's helpful to think of the spine in 3D actually, though, not only the coronal plane but the sagittal plane. that you get full rotation. Prevalence is around 2 to 3% worldwide, although we are finding there are areas of the world where that's increased. There's a province in China, for example, where the overall prevalence is 5%, but if you look at girls aged 10 to 15 with low body mass, that rate skyrockets up to 13% of the population with scoliosis in that province. It normally occurs during the first growth spurt, so around 10 to 12 years old, although it does occur in infants and young children. And it's during that time that the only treatment that's non-surgical will work, and that's bracing. They normally start this rigid bracing system around 20 degrees, 25 degrees, and if it progresses to 40, 45 degrees, then surgery is recommended. So when we went out and looked at the biggest problems in scoliosis that could be solved with an app, it actually overwhelmingly, we had an overwhelming response, and that was brace wearing compliance. When someone is prescribed a brace, imagine an 11-year-old girl, has to wear that brace 23 hours a day, working time up to get to that point. If they don't wear it that amount of time, it's not going to work. So there is one window of time that it will work, and there is no current, there's no app that exists that provides incentive for these children. Something that would help them track their time and brace, something that would give them points to encourage them. So if any of you would like to volunteer to write an incentive app that could be used worldwide, we can translate that into other languages. Come see me at the meet and greet. We also have other ideas for how you can help long term. It doesn't have to end today. Just leave me your name and email and say that you would like to help, and we will put you on our list of resources out there, because you can make a difference with your talent. And thank you for coming today and for offering your help.
Our last nonprofit today is Benetech.
Let's see if we can get this working. Hello everyone, my name is Charles Lapierre. I'm the technical lead for the Diagram Center and Born Accessible at Benetech. My colleague with me today is Alex Cabral, who is our UI UX expert, research expert. Benetech is a different type of tech company. We're a nonprofit based in Silicon Valley, Palo Alto, and whose mission is to empower communities in need by creating scalable technology solutions. Our work focuses on global education and literacy, making it safer for human rights defenders in over 50 countries, collect and share these violations with each other, and to empower those who are struggling to find resources and the services they need to survive. Our mission is to leverage technology to help humanity by connecting Silicon Valley technical know-how with the communities that need them. Bookshare is our flagship success story, which is the largest library in the world of accessible books for people with print disabilities, serving over 15 million accessible ebooks to over 700,000 users, using 780,000 books with 807 publishers in 47 different languages. Our human rights program has made a huge difference in how data is collected securely, and we are now focusing on how to privately share and collaborate with video using machine learning. ServiceNet and our Data for Inclusion project is helping service providers to have access to accurate, real-time data about the resources available for their clients. We at Benetech advise, build, and foster the software which drives the social good ecosystem. Benetech Labs is working on our next big impact opportunities. We feel will change how students will learn math on the web with our accessible user interface that requires students to show their work as they solve these equations, and which leads us to today's hackathon, where we have 2 projects that will help with Benetech's mission. The first is an accessible sketchpad for MathShare that will be used to help and label accessible shapes. The project information can be found in this tiny URL, UGPTAJD. And the second project is an accessible survey logic that will help create surveys that will ask you different questions based on their answers, previous answers. Currently, this is possible to do, but it's not accessible to people with using a screen reader technology. And this project information can be found at tiny URL argent6wwbl. And thank you very much, and good luck, hackathon.
Cool. Right before we head into our keynote, we'll have our partner MLH speak a little bit.
All right, question. For how many of you here, is this your first hackathon? Please raise your hand. That is a nice number. Well, one, I'm really glad to be here with you all and to get to be that person who's like, oh, this is what a hackathon is? That's cool. So with that said, let's get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Sean, and I'm from Major League Hacking. But what is Major League Hacking? Well, Major League Hacking is the official student hackathon league with over 135,000 students all across the world, just like yourselves. But what exactly does it mean to be in this league? Well, it actually means that you're earning points for your school by being here, and the best way to earn points for your school is to bring your friends along for the ride. Now that's great, Sean, but what exactly are we going to be doing here this weekend? Well, we'll be running our famous Cup Stacking mini event at 8 p.m. tonight at the second floor game area. This is an amazing way to take a break and have some fun with your friends. It's also the location of where you'll be able to get the legendary 2020 season t-shirts thanks to our friends at Capital One. You will not want to miss out on these. You cannot get them next semester or next quarter, so I highly recommend coming out to grab one. We also brought the MLH Hardware Lab presented by DGP along with us this weekend. To register for hardware, all you need to do is go to hack.mlh.io/hardware and select this event. From there, you'll be able to borrow a bunch of our hardware, like our Dell XPS 13s, Amazon Echoes, Google Home Minis, you name it, we probably have it over there. In addition to things we probably have, we have a bunch of career and internship opportunities for those of you looking for them. I'm looking at you fourth years, all right? You can always check out the link above to get started. And we have the photo booth here this weekend. I'll be setting it up later, so look out for that and you can take some photos with your friends. Now, I have 2 words for everybody. Free software. Thanks to our friends at GitHub, everybody here can download the GitHub Student Developer Pack. It is an amazing free resource, especially for you first-time hackers out here. It has over $200,000 worth of software in it. And for you artists and doodlers, we do have an AutoCAD drawing contest. So all you need to do is draw your best AutoCAD and tweet it to @GitHubEducation using #myAutoCAD and #HackDavis2020. Thanks to our friends at domain.com, everybody here can get a free .space.tech or .online domain with 1 year of domain privacy. All you need to do is use code Blizzard99 at checkout. And everybody here should have been emailed $50 worth of Google Cloud credit. If you haven't, you can come find me by the MLH table and I'll be more than happy to give you a card to get you set up. And we brought UiPath along with us. UiPath is a great way to automate the boring tasks on your Windows machine. I highly recommend checking them out if you have a Windows machine and like automation. And we brought MongoDB Atlas. They're a great cloud database, so I highly recommend checking them out as well if you're doing something along the lines. Prizes. So first, second, and third place will be receiving MLH winner pins this weekend. In addition to those pins, we have a bunch of other great prizes. Personal favorite being the best use of Google Cloud because you can actually win one of the new Google Nest Minis. And on Sunday, we'll be demoing. Demoing is an amazing part of the process. You get to walk around and see what everybody's created here this weekend. And if you do demo, you'll be able to earn yourself a very special HackDavis 2020 branded iDemo sticker. These are like the gym badges of the hackathon. And where there are gym badges, there have to be some shiny Pokemon. So we have a very limited edition sticker that you can get here at this hackathon. To earn it, all you need to do is come find me walking around and battle me to a game of rock, paper, scissors. All right, if you do, you'll be able to earn yourself a very special sticker this weekend. Now, I have 2 more words, and these tend to be everybody's favorite 2 words. Free food. Oh, if you like that, you're really going to like this one. We brought caffeinated chocolate. So with that said, I do want to remind everybody, all right, pay attention. One of those chocolate squares, one thing is the caffeine equivalent of half a cup of coffee, so I will be giving them out later, and please be careful. All right, now, on a serious note, I do want to take a step back and remind everybody that this event is a safe space for everyone. This event is under the MLH Code of Conduct, which you can read more about in the link above. Basically, you want to treat everybody how you'd like to be treated. And so if you have any problems at all, please feel free to come up to either me or one of the organizers, and we will be more than happy to take care of it for you. In addition, you can always contact the incidents line at the email and phone number provided. Once again, I just want to say thank you to all of our amazing partners for helping this all happen. My name is Sean. Everything I said can be found at hack.mlh.io, and happy hacking, everyone.
Okay, before we move on to our keynote, I think we should take a 10-second break to just stretch and shake off any, oh yes, stand. Yes, go ahead and stand if you need to. Just stretch. Okay, awesome. We're now going to get started on the keynote, which is OSIsoft. They are our co-hosts this year, so please sit back down, relax again, and let's get into the keynote.
Hi, can everyone hear me? So, I'm the engineering manager at OSIsoft. I've been at the company for roughly 13 years now, which is a really long time. That's kind of when I was this young. And it's a long time for any industry, much less the software industry, to which you kind of expect people to stay in a job for maybe 2-3 years. So I'm going to talk about why I stayed here, and when people typically ask me, I typically give them one response, which is OSIsoft, as well as my managers, they've given me a lot of challenges to help me grow, given me a lot of opportunities to help me grow, such as this week that I'm doing today. So in my progression at OSIsoft, I wasn't always a manager. I started out as a support engineer, answering support calls, helping our customers, and then I branched on to do stuff like, oh, I'm going to test this software, I'm going to be testing this software. And then I went on to actually coding. And then after a few years of that, I actually was leading the development team within OSIsoft that actually more or less coded our central historian, which is more or less our flagship product. But we have a lot of flagship products at OSIsoft that is the entire ecosystem of software. Currently, I am doing more of like the cloud technologies now, so I'm moving on to integration of on-premise systems with the cloud systems. So it's really cool stuff. And in terms of my responsibility to those who report to me, the responsibilities of a manager is actually really different than one of a software developer. So as a software developer, you do stuff like you build, you develop code, you develop high-quality software. That's your responsibility. As a manager, we do something similar, but very different, which is actually we build and develop high-quality people. So a lot of our focus is really to give people critical feedback, help them learn, and give them opportunities to learn. Sort of like what you're doing today at Hackathon. So you not only learn about our software, you learn about coding, and you learn about your peers, you learn about yourself. And those are kind of really important things to think about in a hackathon. So, talking about that, you will also be interacting with OSI software. So, what exactly do you do? You might not have heard of us, but you probably heard of some of our bigger customers, like PG&E, Microsoft, eBay, Genentech, for instance. And if you haven't heard of any of those, perhaps you've heard of HackDavis, right? So HackDavis is actually one of our customers too. So, and our customers do a lot of amazing stuff with our software. Some of them that we have never thought about, of course, some of them that when we look at it, like, wow, this is super cool and really life-changing. So, as an example, one of our customers in the Philippines is called Mainland, who's a water service provider in the Philippines. And what they do is basically they provide water to those in the city and outside. So they had a couple of problems in which they knew that there was leaks within their system. These leaks caused money to fix, and they caused service issues to those they're trying to serve. Using our software as well as their ingenuity and design, they were actually able to identify these leaks early on, as well as other benefits such as the leak repair cost went down roughly 90%. They were able to reach roughly 30% more people, as well as improve the efficiency of the plants by roughly 10%. So these are actually really big numbers. As I said, Miniland is actually based off the Philippines, to which many of you can kind of think to yourself, water and the availability of water itself and clean water might not be so readily available outside the city. So if you think about it, if Mainland is able to reach more people outside the city, for instance, a student who studies outside the city can actually study when they come home as opposed to, think about where I'm getting my next cup of water. A mother who just had a new baby can think about focusing on bonding with this new baby as opposed to wondering and thinking about, is this water that's coming from the faucet dangerous? So these are really profound impacts of people's lives that is really nothing short of amazing that our customers can think about and develop this software to build on top of what we have. On top of that, they also had other initiatives that were around public and social good as well. So once they started saving money, once they started reaching out to more people, they were actually able to do stuff like, what they did is like disaster recovery programs. They taught people about health and sanitation. And they have basically environmental stewardship programs that, what we're here today to think about and do. So, HackDavis also has a system, as I said, and in your campus energy education platform, that's pretty cool too. As John talked about, there's data out there with respect to energy, with respect to steam data, as well as kind of the environmental data. So as we go on to this hackathon, I kind of leave you with two thoughts in my head. And the first one is really, think about your passion. What do you really kind of have burning in your heart to fix? You talked about the social plan that you listed out earlier on. Think about what keeps you up at night. Think about your parents or your friends telling you, hey, please stop talking about that and just do something. So those are things to think about. Mark Anthony said, if you do something you love, you'll never have to work a day in your life. Think about the reach that what you develop will have. And one thing I ask everyone to think about is really to do not let people tell you that you cannot do things. Because when people tell you that you can do things, usually what they mean is that they can't do it. So think about that and do something you like and something that you're very passionate about. even though this hackathon is only 24 hours, what you do here will carry you on potentially throughout your career. So I think my second thought is really around play. When I was in college, there actually was not any hackathons. The concept of meetups was actually very new. And what happened was that a bunch of my friends actually just met up to, let's talk about technologies, let's talk about what's the latest and greatest, let's do some coding. And what ended up happening is that, yes, we actually did learn a lot about coding. We learned a lot about new technologies. We're very excited about certain things. What also ended up happening is that we learned a lot about each other. We learned about ourselves. We learned about, oh, this person really cares about that, and he doesn't care too much about this. So those are life things that, even though this is very technical in terms of hackathon, you'll learn about those as well. So I'm not sure if anyone has read the book Range by David Epstein. There you go. So he says that learning stuff was less important than about learning about oneself. Exploration is not just a whimsical luxury of education, it's actually a centralized method. So this hackathon is really doing a lot of learning. One thing that we found out in software development that's also really beneficial when you start developing and learning is this concept called reflection. So sometime during this hackathon, we have 24 hours, maybe midway, maybe 30% through, start to think about, what's not going so well here, what can be improved, what is going really well, and continue doing well. So it's a reflection about each other as well, such as like, hey, when you developed that visualization to grab data, that was really cool. I think that really helped us propel to create a vision of what we wanted to develop. Or, hey, when you developed this task board that really organized everything that we needed to do to the rep, it really helped us finish. So reflection is really important at the build. And as the hackathon comes to an end, I encourage everyone to keep and build on those relationships that you built during this hackathon. So in the end, there's a lot of prizes. There's a lot of really cool types out there. But if you don't win, in my opinion, that you already won because you are participating there, just by being there. It's not a small fee to spend like your weekend day to be coding and be amongst your friends, but it's just being here and learning and doing this exercise is really great. And it's 24 hours. Pace yourself and have fun. And if you ever want to talk to us, we'll be right there. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. I hope all of those presentations made you super excited to start hacking and figuring out which prize categories you want to enter for and which nonprofits you want to talk to. Before that though, I'd like to mention a few things to close off this opening ceremony. First, before we start fielding questions on this, if you haven't noticed already, there is a toothbrush in your swag bags. Sean has both kindly and willingly volunteered to demo this toothbrush. So please give him a round of applause. Now you may be wondering where the toothpaste is, and I'm here to inform you as a PSA that the toothbrush in fact contains toothpaste. Yeah. Whoa. So how do you get the toothpaste out? Well, the answer is stick it under water, like you would with a normal toothbrush, then just start brushing your teeth. Woo. This magic is called a pre-pasted toothbrush, and apparently a lot of people do not know what this is, though they are at every single dentist office I've ever been to. So are there any questions on that? No? Okay, great. That's a PSA. Thank you, Sean. Okay, finally, does anyone remember the word that I opening speech of this opening ceremony that you should dash. Very good. Do you know what dash stands for? Dang! Quite good, quite good. Okay. DevPost, apps, Slack, and HelpQ. If you don't know what one of these means, feel free to ask any of the directors, but I hope you at least remember the word dash. I think that pretty much wraps up our opening ceremony. There will be both a team mixer and a nonprofit meet and greet, starting pretty much right now in the ballroom. I believe the team mixer is the second floor, but please feel free to ask one of the directors to find out where exactly it is. Thank you guys once again for choosing to come to our event over the thousands of other things you could have been doing instead. And I look forward to seeing all of the amazing projects. Excuse me, 1 second, please. Thank you. So we have 24 hours to hack now. Feel free to make your way back down to your tables. And welcome once again to HackDavis 2020.